Welcome to Northsun Tabletop Games, and today we are going to play an oldie but goodie, Escape the Dark Castle, the game of atmospheric adventure. We'll go ahead and get this set up. It's a pretty tough game, easy to die, but it's a small box and very good for solo play. Couple of steps. First, we're going to create our castle that we're going to try to escape from. So we're going to get 15 chapter cards face down. These are the chapter cards. The game comes with about 45, I believe. So we'll shuffle these. We'll get 15 face down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cut the deck a little bit. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cut. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That is the castle that we're going to try to escape from. Next up, shuffle the boss cards and place one face down. This box comes with 3 box cards. Alright, we'll randomly pick one of those guys. Put them at the bottom of the castle. Next up, we are going to have place the start card on top of the castle deck with the image of the castle face up. That's this guy. Then we're going to shuffle the item card deck, place it face down. All right, and then we've got our chapter dice and our player dice are up here. These are the chapter dice. We'll talk about those as we play. Player dice, we're going to do 2 player sets. Choose characters. The game recommends getting even characters, but we are just going to pull randomly and let fate decide. So we have the abbot. These symbols have different meanings. So the star is wisdom, the fist is might, and the eyeball is cunning. And when you're playing a solo game, you want to have 2 characters. So we've got the abbot here. Just pan this out a little bit. And the second player will be the smith. So he's got strongest in might, medium wisdom, and bad cunning. So these guys both have pretty bad cunning. So we'll see if that plays into their favor or if it's just another hurdle for them to escape the dark castle. All right. Let me see. We've got these guys here. For 2 players, it tells you in the rule books that if it's 1 or 2 players, they get 18 life. So you get your little sheet out with your pencil. They'll both have 18 life. So 18 for him, 18 for Smith. I'll put his life there. And then we will get their dice, the abbot dice and the smith dice. So each character has a unique die with their name on it. Let's get here. Okay, here's abbot's die. And the die faces represent their skill level. So he'll have most 4 faces, I think, have wisdom, or 3 have wisdom, 2 have might, and then 1 has cunning, roughly. So that's how the dice break down, and then smith. All right, with that being said, we make our way into the castle. So we'll flip over the first card. Normally when you pick a room, you have to say who goes first, but for the first card, you don't have to use that. We'll use this token as we start playing for who's entering the rooms. All right, let's see here. Let us begin. After years of incarceration in the depths of the dark castle, you finally break free of your cell. In a small stone room adjoining the cell block stands an old wooden chest. The lock is open. Draw an item card per player now. You hear footsteps approaching. You must not linger here. You make for the exit, slipping away and disappearing into the darkness. Turn the first chapter card now. So first we'll get our 2 items. We have a partially rotten apple, discard to restore 1 hit point to your character. And we've got 2 rotten apples. All right, so they can have max 2 items, so we'll give each one of them a rotten apple. All right. And we'll have Smith take the lead and go into the first round. It is. At the end of this winding passage, a wooden chest covered in cobwebs is protected by a gauntlet of vicious-looking traps. As a group, choose one option. Move on. It's not worth the risk. Turn the next chapter card. Risk it. Nominate a player to try and retrieve items from the chest. They must roll cunning in 1 attempt, and may try this as many times as there are players. For each success, draw an item card, 2 on a double cunning. For each failure, the nominated player loses 2 hit points. Well, Abbott and Smith aren't very cunning, so you know what they're going to do. They are going to choose the option to move on and ignore that treasure. Smith will continue to take the lead, and they'll head into the next room. You turn a corner and step right into the path of 2 guards. They exchange a puzzled look, then lunge to restrain you. As a group, choose one option. Flee. You force your way past them, but not before taking several glancing blows. Each player loses 1 hit point, or we can fight and begin a combat. Well, we don't have very many items, so I think these guys are only going to get 2 chapter dice. So let's go ahead and fight them. So when you have combat, you will get some symbols that represents the enemy's life, and then this symbol means roll chapter dice, which are these, for each character. So these guys just get 2 chapter dice, 1 because we have 2 characters. So they got 2 wisdoms. So when Smith and Abbott roll their dice, if we match these symbols, we remove them, and that's how we win the fight. If they aren't dead after the first roll, every time they hit us, they do 2 damage, which is down here in this corner. So let us see. We also have the option to rest on our turn. If a character rests, they heal 1 life, but then they don't get to attack. And only 1 character can rest per turn. All right, first round. Come on, let's get 2 wisdoms. Perfect. That's 3 wisdoms. The shield means if they weren't dead, he wouldn't have taken any damage, but they are. So Abbott and Smith take out the guards quickly and quietly. And whenever you defeat an enemy, you get to draw an item card. They find a cunning concoction. Discard to apply a single cunning at any time. Great. So Abbott will hold on to that, so he's full up on items. And Smith's been doing good so far, so Smith will keep making his way through the Dark Castle. You pass through a chamber which serves as a cesspit below the castle privies. As you pick your way through the filth, something unusual catches your eye. Draw an item card. Let's see what they find. A partially rotten apple. There's a lot of rotten apples. So Smith has 2 rotten apples. He'll take those, and they will continue on. Uh-oh. You wipe dust from the lid of a large tomb, hoping to read its inscription. At your touch, the lid slides open, and a giant knight rises, bellowing that you should not have disturbed him. As a group, choose one option. As you run, you are hacked by the Revenant. You lose 3 hit points. Or we can fight and begin combat. Combat special, all players may fight as normal, but you are the only player the giant attacks, and you may not rest. So when it says you, it's referring to the person that went into the room. So in this case, it would be Smith. So it's going to be a wisdom and 2 other dice. It's got 2 life. Or do we take 3 damage and flee? So basically, if we don't kill it in 2 rounds, I think we flee. So we're going to flee, and it says you lose 3 hit points. So Smith will lose 3 hit points. That'll take him down to 15. He will use one of his partially rotten apples to heal 1 hit point and take him back up to 16. So now that he's a little banged up, we'll have Abbott take the lead and head into the next room. Bringing his cart to a halt beside you, an intriguing stranger insists you sample his latest brew. A healing elixir, he claims. A spiked club dangles from his belt, and keen as you are to move on, you feel it will be unwise to refuse. How bad can it be? You, so this is Abbott, must choose one option. Take a sip. The man smiles and rewards you. Draw an item card. Take a long draw. Try to roll might in 1 attempt. Success, the elixir warms your innards, gain 3 hit points. Failure, it is foul-smelling and toxic. You vomit, lose 1 hit point. So Abbott is full on health. So we'll just choose to take a sip. The man smiles and rewards you. Draw an item card. And let's see what he gets from the man. He gets a cracked axe. In combat, roll a chapter die along with your character die each time you attack and apply both results. That is a fantastic item. So Smith will take that because he has room for 1. And we'll just sit this chapter die on the cracked axe so that we don't forget that we have that. So Abbott will still stay in the lead. Let's keep making our way through. What is that? That doesn't look good. You sense something strange in this chamber. There is a sudden drop in temperature and the air grows still. Then you see it. As a group, choose one option. Flee. The specter steals part of your soul and you lose 2 hit points. Fight. Begin combat. Combat special. You are terrified and any might you roll this chapter has no effect. Okay, I think we are going to flee and Abbott is going to take 2 hit points. So we are running from this creature as well. So Abbott goes from 18 down to 16. They're both overall still decent though. We'll let Abbott stay in the lead as we run down the hallway and see what we run into next. This place is filled with horrors. The chamber is flanked by caves and littered with gnawed bones. A guttural growl rings out as something emerges. As a group, choose one option, then begin combat. Tackle the beast head on. We would roll 2 chapter dice and it would do 3 damage to us if it hits us. Or use hit and run tactics. That's 3 dice plus the 2, so it had 5, but it only do 2 damage. I think we're going to take it head on. Tackle this beast head on. Let's see what it's got. A might and a wisdom. All right, so Abbott and Smith will do their attacks. Abbott gets the chapter die and the regular die. We're looking for a fist and a wisdom. So we got a shield, 2 wisdoms, and 2 fists. So fist will cancel that out. Wisdom will cancel that, and they have slain the beast. Let's see what they find. Whenever you defeat a creature, you get 1 item card. It is a rusted flail. Once per round of combat, when you roll cunning, you may roll again and choose which of the 2 results to apply. This is one-handed. So we will have Abbott eat his apple. So that will heal him up to 17. And then he'll take the rusted flail. So now he has the rusted flail and the cunning concoction. He's got 17 life. And Smith has the cracked axe and the partially rotten apple. Abbott will stay in front after killing the creature in the hallway. Let's see what's next. You are knocked unconscious and dragged down the side passage. You awake strapped to a table where a man in a filthy apron is scraping rust from a jagged blade. You are to be a test subject for the castle's torturer. You must endure the pain until your absence is noticed and you are rescued. Roll your character die 5 times. For each roll that is not might or a double, you lose 1 hit point. For each roll that is not might or a double. So he needs might or doubles, or he takes a damage as he's getting tortured by this crazy guy in the castle. First roll, 1 damage. Second roll, he's okay. Third roll, he's okay. Fourth roll, he's okay. Fifth roll. All right, so he endures the pain and only takes 1 damage. That takes him down to 16. Eventually, Smith catches up to him, and they escape and continue their way. They both have 16. Let's go ahead and have Smith take the lead so Abbott can recuperate from that torturous trauma. All right, Smith. This passageway leads to a set of old stone steps. They descend into a flooded cave. The water is murky, but a dim light is visible some distance below. You take a deep breath and dive, kicking towards the light. Each player must try to roll a double in 1 attempt. For each player, success, you make it through, surfacing on the other side. Failure, you begin to flounder, lose 1 hit point, and try again. If you have not succeeded after 3 attempts, you make it through, breathless and exhausted. So 3 tries to roll doubles, and they lose 1 life every time they don't. So first try. Wow, these guys are on it. Doubles, success, they make it through, surfacing on the other side. No problem. They must be fishermen. All right, Smith's going to continue with the lead. A drunken guard stops you and demands to know your business. He is unsteady on his feet and his breath is vile. As a group, choose 1 item. Bribe, discard 1 item and he will forget he ever saw you. Misdirect, nominate a player to roll wisdom in 1 attempt. Abbott is really good at wisdom. Success, you befuddle the guard with a riddle and move on. Failure, the guard tries to detain you. You struggle free and escape, but all players lose 1 hit point during the scuffle. I think we are going to bribe him. So we are going to discard 1 item and tell him, hey, buddy, you like apples? And he is going to take that and let us through. Right, so Smith just has 1 item. The cracked axe. He'll stay in front. And we're getting deeper into the castle. We are actually doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. All right, what do we have here? Looks like some kind of kitchen. The aroma of hot food has led you to the kitchen. Okay. On a table near the door is a steaming meat pie. As a group, choose 1 option. Move on. It's not worth the risk. Turn the next chapter card. Steal. Nominate a player to roll 2 cunning in 3 attempts. Success, the pie is delicious and filling. All players gain 1 hit point. Failure, the cook catches you and vows to make you filling for his next batch. Begin combat. Well, you know, like I said, these guys aren't too good with the cunning. They're just trying to get out the fastest way possible. So they feel like it's not worth it. They're going to move on. It's not worth the risk. And turn the next chapter card. So Smith will push on. Looks like this might be another guard. Or 2. Several armed figures spring from the shadows and attack. You become separated and each player must fight alone. Roll a chapter die in front of each player to represent the muggers attacking them. However, the muggers want your items. Players carrying 2 items roll 2 chapter dice instead of 1. Begin combat. Each time a player would take damage from a mugger, they may avoid it by discarding an item. No player can rest until the muggers attacking them are defeated. They may then rest or help another player defeat theirs. A player aiding another takes damage as normal and must declare who they are aiding before they roll. Alright, so these guys get separated. Abbott's going to have 2 on him because he has 2 items. So 2 fist muggers on him. And Smith is going to have 1 mugger on him that uses cunning. Alright, so first roll for Smith. He does not get rid of the mugger. He takes 1 damage. He is not going to choose to get rid of his item. Let's see what Abbott can do. A wisdom, that is no good. He will take that damage, so he's down to 15. Next round, back to Smith. Come on, use that axe and get rid of this guy. Fantastic. So he has gotten the eye symbol. He strikes down his mugger. Abbott doesn't take any damage, but he blocks. So he doesn't take any damage. Next turn, Smith will rush over to Abbott with the cracked axe. We'll try to take out the 2 muggers that are on him. We have gotten 3 fists from Smith, 2 blocks, so they block all the damage, and he sinks the cracked axe into multiple muggers, killing them. Let's see what they find. They have gotten Distilled Wisdom Potion. Discard to apply a single wisdom at any time. All right. So Smith will hold on to that potion. They're both at 15 life. Still doing pretty good. Don't want to jinx it. Smith will continue forward, leading the way. Oh, what is this? Some potions. A hooded man approaches. He looks cautiously over his shoulder, then whispers, asking if you wish to trade. Each player may choose 1 option. Trade, discard any item and draw 2 more. Negotiate, try to roll a double in 1 attempt. Success, your civil tongue pays dividends, draw an item card. Or failure, your primitive appeal falls flat, you get nothing. We are both have 2 items, and I like both of these potions, so we are not going to trade with him. It's a may choose an option, so we don't have to pick either, so we'll keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Looks like we've only got a couple of doors to get through to try to get out of this castle. Oh, that doesn't look very good at all. Your boot catches a tripwire. Smith, releasing a shower of acid from above. All players must try to roll cunning in 1 attempt. For each player, success, you dodge the trap. Failure, the acid splash begins to sizzle and smoke, burning through an item you are carrying. Discard 1 item. If you have 2, shuffle them face down and discard 1 at random. If you have none, lose 1 hit point as the acid sears your flesh. This is the worst. So these guys need cunning, which they don't have, to avoid the acid, or they're going to lose potentially a great item. All right, Abbott and Smith cunning. Here we go. Nope. Neither one got it. So the acid gets on them. Abbott is going to use his cunning concoction, discard to apply a single cunning at any time, which will give him a success. Smith, however, cannot do that. If you have 2 options, shuffle them face down, discard 1 at random. I'm going to discard 1 at random, and just to keep it even more random, I'll roll this dice. It doesn't come with the game or not. 1, 2, 3. This gets discarded. 4, 5, 6. This gets discarded. Let's see what he lost. The distilled wisdom. Okay. So he keeps his cracked axe. Okay. One more room to go before we get to the end. Oh no, this does not look good at all. The passageway suddenly fills with harsh, whispered curses. Flames leap from the wall-mounted torches to take on the form of a demonic warrior. Tongues of arcane fire surging from its charred skull. As a group, choose one option. Flee. You escape, but all lose 2 hit points dashing through the fire. Fight. Begin combat. Combat special. Whoever deals the final blow loses 1 hit point as the demon vanishes in a burst of flame which cannot be blocked. Yeah, we're not fighting this. So we'll take the 2 damage each. We'll flee. We'll go down to 13 life. All right, so Abbott has 13. Smith has 13. And we see the exit door ahead of us. What lies behind it? Do not read until you have completed the last chapter card, which we have. This is it. You have reached the final challenge. One last obstacle stands between you and freedom. Turn over now. And I should have mentioned in the beginning, if anybody dies, we lose. It is the Dark One. Your pitiful trinkets are no match for my dark magic. Oh my gosh. As you enter the Dark One's presence, any items you are carrying vaporize. Other players keep theirs. Discard them now. So all that trouble to keep this axe, and it gets vaporized by the Dark One. The Dark One has 1 cunning, a bunch of wisdom. This evil wizard. He does 3 damage per turn, and then 2 more dice for the players. Another wisdom and another cunning. So all wisdom and 2 cunnings. That's actually not great for us. So this is what we got to do. 13 life. Can we defeat the Dark One? Let's go. First row is a shield and a fist. No damage. Smith takes 3, so he's down to 10 life. Right, second round. 2 cunnings come off. They both take 3 damage. He is down to 10. Smith is down to 7. Should I have Smith rest? If I have Smith rest, he'll go up to 8. He'll go down to 7. I think we have them both attack again. All right. He blocks, so no damage for Smith. 3 wisdom, so these all come off. He takes 3 damage, that takes him down to 7. And now the part that I was most worried about. The cunning of this guy versus these 2 guys' cunning. I don't think they've rolled cunning the whole game. They both take 3. That takes them down to 4 life. 4 life. Now I gotta decide. What's the optimal thing? If I have him rest, he'll go back up to 5. Have him attack, he'll go down to 1. And then have him rest, he goes up to 2. He goes down to 2. So they're both at 4 life. So I either have 2 turns to get it, or... And they have to roll a cunning, and both of these dice only have 1 cunning. So it'd be like rolling double 6s. I think we're going to have one of them rest. So Abbott will rest, go up to 5. Or not Abbott, Smith will rest. Come on, Abbott, get that cunning. Nope. He doesn't get it, but he gets a shield. So he won't take any damage. We'll have Smith rest again and go up to 6 life. Abbott, you need this cunning. Nope, he doesn't get it. Abbott goes down to 1 life. So now Abbott will rest. Smith will attack. He takes a shield. Blocks the damage. Abbott heals up to 2. Abbott will rest again. Heal up to 3. No damage. Abbott will rest again. Goes up to 4. He goes down to 3. Now Abbott will go. He goes down to 1 life. And then I think this is it. Because if one of them dies, they both die. So 3 and 1. Resting 1 is not going to help. Come on, Cunnings and Shields. And they make their way all the way to the last room of the dungeon and are destroyed by the Dark One. They are destroyed. They just couldn't out-cunning him. They just couldn't do it. Maybe in 4 or 5 more rounds, they would have got it. So, good effort for Abbott and Smith. That's one of the downsides when you pick characters and they both have a weakness. But it was a fun attempt at escaping the Dark Castle. Not a lot of fighting. They were able to flee from most of the monsters. Had to fight a few things. Hope you enjoyed the playthrough. Feel free to like and subscribe. Comment down below. How's your luck been with escaping the Dark Castle? Were the dice on your side? Or did they work against you when it mattered the most? Thanks for watching.